Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. In this session we'll be solving this geometry puzzle. Let's say that you have two identical squares, each with a side of length a. Now one square is pivoted around the bottom left corner over an angle of 45 degrees. This results in these four line segments to define an enclosed area. And we can use this enclosure to define the largest possible circle that fits within these boundaries. And the puzzle that we need to solve now is to find the area of this largest circle. Now, of course, the best way for you to learn is to pause the video and give this problem a go yourself. And then after some time, resume and check whether you indeed got the right result, or just sit back and see how it's actually solved. So let's get into it and tackle this problem. First, let me redraw the situation that we had, such that I can draw on top of it in an effort to solve this problem. We have, of course, our two identical squares with a side of length a. One square is pivoted over 45 degrees, and these four line segments define this largest circle. And the first step in these geometry problems is to identify the subproblems, meaning to break down the overall puzzle into problems that we know how to solve or think we know how to solve. And if we then can subsequently solve these subproblems, then we can bring them together and solve the entire puzzle. So looking at this problem, we observe that we have to do with a circle that is enclosed by boundaries. And this might ring a bell because there is this concept of an incircle, which is the largest circle that is enclosed by a set of boundaries. For instance, we have the incircle of a triangle, of a square, or of any n polygon. And we are in fact quite confident that we can work with the incircle of a triangle and a square. However, here we clearly do not have either of a triangle or a square. It's just an enclosure of four lines. So what we can do instead is to try and extend some of these lines such that this circle actually becomes an incircle of a figure that we can work with, preferably a triangle or a square. And after some trying and drawing and redrawing, we see that if we extend this boundary right here and connect it to the other boundaries, we indeed get the incircle of a specific triangle. And let's redraw this triangle and the incircle of this triangle separate from our original sketch. Now we immediately see that what makes this triangle even more to our advantage is that it is a right-angled triangle, because two of its sides are the sides of the square in which we were working. And because of this, we also know that the two sides of this triangle are also the length a, simply the sides of the original square. And doing this, we have found our first subproblem, namely finding the area of the incircle of a right-angled triangle with the right-angled sides of length a. And before diving headfirst into finding this area, let's first complete our full knowledge of this triangle by finding the length of this side. And since this is a right-angled triangle, this side can be easily found by using the Pythagorean theorem, which says that x squared is equal to a squared plus a squared, simply the squares of the remaining sides of the right-angled triangle. Rewriting this, we find that x is equal to the square root of 2a squared, or simply the square root of 2 multiplied by a. And this is actually something that we will need later on. Let's now solve this subproblem by calculating the area of the incircle of a right-angled triangle. And I'm sure that there are standard formulas out there that will give you the result right away. However, it is oftentimes the case that you will not be able to recollect these formulas by heart when it actually matters, for example, on an exam. That's why it's always good practice to derive these formulas from scratch. This will at the same time increase your abilities to think about these geometry problems. Now, to actually find this formula and to calculate the area of this circle, we again have our right-angled triangle, of which we now call the corners A, B, and C. And if we at some point want to calculate the area of this circle, we need of course to find its radius, which we will call small r. And the idea behind how we're going to do this is to calculate the area of the triangle ABC in two distinct ways. One which only depends on the sides of this triangle, and the other which hopefully will depend on this small r. And in that way, we will be able to equate these two areas and therefore find a formula that connects this small r, the radius of this circle, with the sides of the triangle. So that is our game plan, and let's now see how this goes into practice. The first way of calculating the area of the triangle ABC is to just use the standard formula, which is derived from the fact that a right-angled triangle is basically just a square that is cut in half. And since the area of this square is simply the length of its sides squared, the area of the triangle is 1/2 times this surface. This means that the area of the triangle is equal to the first length AC, which is this one right here, multiplied with the second length, which is length AB, times AB, divided by 2. And in this very straightforward way, we have already found one formula for the area of our triangle. The second way of calculating the area of the triangle ABC will have to incorporate the length r, the radius of this circle. And this will involve a bit more work, but in the end will be very intuitive. And the key insight that we're going to use for this is the defining property of an incircle, namely that it touches the bounding sides of the triangle in exactly 3 points, and that the line connecting the center of the circle with these points where the incircle touches the sides of the triangle makes a 90-degree angle. The next step is that we connect each corner of this triangle with the center of the incircle. And at this point, for the first time, we actually see where we are going, because we observe that the total surface of this triangle ABC is simply equal to the sum of the surfaces of these 3 triangles that are created by these connection lines. Now, what is of course left to do is to calculate the surface of each of these 3 triangles. And then you might think that we, instead of one problem, have 3 problems now, which in a sense is true. However, we see that since each of these dark green lines are the radius of our inner circle, we observe that this distance is exactly the height of each of these 3 triangles. And we know that the surface of a triangle is equal to 1/2 times its height times the base of the triangle. And therefore, in each of the surface of these 3 triangles, there will appear this r, the actual radius of our inner circle, which is what we were actually looking for. So let's see what this becomes. For the yellow triangle, this becomes 1/2 times the base of this triangle, which is the length AC, multiplied by its height, which is of course r. The same can be done for the red triangle, which is 1/2 times its base, which in this case is AB, times r again. And of course, for the last blue triangle, this is again 1/2 multiplied by BC multiplied by r. And we can of course now simply factor out this 1/2 and this r to get that the total surface of our triangle is 1/2 times r multiplied by AC plus AB plus the length BC. And if you pay close attention, the sum of these 3 lengths is of course the perimeter of our triangle. It is AC plus AB plus BC. And in this way, we have actually connected the surface of our large triangle with its perimeter. And we have this convenient 1 times r that will help us to solve this puzzle. So let's now bring 1 and 2 together and equate both of these surfaces, because they should be identical, and in fact they are. On the left hand side we have AC multiplied by AB divided by 2, which is just the standard way of calculating the surface of a right-angled triangle. And on the right hand side we have this formula with our beloved small r. And we multiply this with this sum of 3 sides, which is simply the perimeter of our triangle, which I will call P. If we now rearrange this equation that we have in order to find an expression for r, the radius of our inner circle, we find that r is equal to the distance AC multiplied by the length AB, just the length of the 2 sides of our triangle, divided by the sum of all of its sides, namely the perimeter P. And this is exactly what we needed. because we can use this formula now to actually find the area of the inner circle of our original triangle. Thus, let's now go to the third and final step where we combine the two previous steps and take this puzzle home. And let's now copy the triangle that we originally had, and just to make it match with the previous step, call its corners correspondingly, A, B, and C. Now if we want to calculate the area of this inner circle, we know that the area of the inner circle is 2 pi times r squared. And of course, we went through all of this work just to get an expression for r as a function of AC, which is this side, and AB, which is this side right here, both being equal to A. So we can readily fill this in. We get 2 pi multiplied by r squared. So we already opened the bracket in order to square what is inside of it. AC is simply this side here, which has a length of A. So we have A multiplied with the length AB, which is also of length A. So we have simply A times A. And we divide this by the perimeter of our triangle. And the perimeter is simply adding up all of the sides of our triangle. Thus, we get A plus the square root of 2 times A. We close the bracket and we do not forget to square this. This can be rewritten as 2 pi multiplied by the following. So we have A squared divided by 2 plus square root of 2 times A, simply factoring out this 1 and the square root of 2. And of course, we do not forget our square. We can cancel out 1 power of A and we can compute this square. So we get 2 pi multiplied by A squared divided by 2 plus square root of 2 squared, which is equal to 2 pi multiplied by A squared divided by 4 plus 2 plus 4 times the square root of 2. Simply calculating this square right here. Simplifying this even further, we get our final result. We have that the area of this inner circle of our triangle right here is equal to pi multiplied by A squared divided by 3 plus 2 times the square root of 2. And this is our final result. And just to remind ourselves what we just calculated, we indeed here calculated this area of this surface of the largest circle that is enclosed by these boundaries that are formed when we pivot one square over 45 degrees over this bottom left corner. And this already brings us to the end of this video, and I hope that you enjoyed solving this geometry puzzle. If you learned something, give this video a thumbs up, which helps out getting it in front of more people. If you really liked it, you can also consider subscribing. And as always, if you had any questions along the way, feel free to comment down below. You can also join our community by checking out our Discord server, of which the link is in the description below. And with that, I thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.